Today I'm going to show you how to set up your Canon camera for the best video quality. For the Canon 80D like I have here, the 7070, the 70, the SL2, they should all have pretty much the same settings. There may be a few in the SL2 that are not in this 80D, but again, these will help you get your best video quality settings. And there's also the manual you can use. I recommend you also glance through that to get a feel for the whole camera. Gabby and I will help you set up your Canon camera. Okay, so for the settings that I like to use, the camera may come in one of these other settings here, like this A, but you want to move your camera over to M for manual. And then I also like to have, if your lens has, definitely want to have it in the AF, the autofocus. And if you have a stabilizer built into your lens, it's a good idea to go ahead and have that turned to on. Okay. Turn on your camera right here. This is the 80D once again, so it may be a little different on the 7070 or the 70D or the SL2. On the 80D, we do have a wheel up here that will adjust your shutter speed. You can see that change there. You always want to have that double your frame rate. So if you're shooting at 60 frames per second, you want to have that set at 125. You can adjust the f-stop or the aperture with this wheel right here. So if you watch here, it will change up there on top, and you can also see it on the back down here at the lower bottom change. To adjust your ISO, you can hit this ISO button right here that the Canon 80D has. Right now it's in auto, but if I turn the wheel at the back side here, it will change and adjust. You can see it changing there. Okay. I sometimes like to keep that on auto. It's always a good setting. Your battery indicator right here on the 80D. And then let's look at the back side here. You do want to adjust some of your menu settings, and that's kind of what this video is all about, to get you the best video quality. The camera 1 setting. I like to turn the beeps off. Your camera will probably come with it turned on, but I disable that. Move over to number 2. I like to adjust the speed setting. If you have it in auto, it can go too high. I adjust that down a little bit, and you simply go in here and use your wheel here back and forth to adjust that. You can click OK when you're done. White balance, there's a lot of different settings in here. I like to keep it on the auto white balance, but you can also, like if you're outside, move it, well, there's shade. If you're out in daylight, bright sun, it'll change the adjustments for you. Shade, if you have fluorescent lights, this will really help. You can also go in here to the color temp and change the Kelvin for you. Okay. Custom white balance, I leave that alone. Picture style. Picture style, your camera will come preset in auto. It does just fine. But I also like to shoot in neutral, which gives you more of a cleaner look, I think, and then also for adjusting and editing your color in. So if you hit info, sharpness, I like to. Once you're in neutral, hit info. This will take you in to adjust those settings in there. The sharpness, I like to have 2 from the left. And if you move on down, the contrast, I like to turn that all the way down. And how you adjust these is you go ahead and touch it, and then you can use your wheel left and right, or you can touch the arrows. But I like to keep that turned down all the way right there. Hit the OK button, it'll take you back. Saturation, I have that 2 from the left. and color tone, I keep that right where it is. Go ahead and click OK. ISO noise reduction, I leave that where it is. Leave these things where they are. Movie servo, I enable that. It'll probably come disabled, I can't remember. But you definitely want that to be enabled. And then if you go down here to your autofocus methods, one of the most common ones to use, especially for video making, is the face tracking. That's actually a picture of a little face right there, and it'll track your face just like this. So I have face tracking on right now, and it's tracking on my face on my screen. I can see, when I look over there, I can see the actual box around my face, and as I move around, it continues to follow me. Even if I move way back here, it will follow me and stay in focus, and as I move closer, it'll follow me and stay in focus. No matter where I move to, off to the side, it'll grab my face, put it right back in focus. That's your face tracking autofocus. The movie record size, right now I have it set at 60, but a lot of people just save room and space. You can go ahead and go on down even to 24 frames a second. That'll give you more of a movie-like look, and so that would be your adjustment there. MP4 is where I keep that. You can move it up to movie if you want, but the MP4 I believe will give you a little bit smaller file size. Go ahead and go back in your menu. Sound recording. I have this set on manual. It will come in auto, but I have it set in manual because I do attach a Rode microphone, and that's your best bet. You do want to do that, and you do want to turn it down a little bit because you don't want it peaking out too much. You can see if I move this way up, it's going to start peaking past the green, and we definitely don't want that. I don't have the Rode microphone set up right now on here, but I do have the internal mic running on there. So I'll go ahead and hit OK on this, and that should be good for that setting. Go over to number 5, the grid display. You can turn that on and off. It's kind of nice to have on if you're cropping and doing some different things, so that might be an option for you, especially if you want to have your rule of thirds there. I like to use that for that, but I'm going to keep it off for now. This is a button function that you might want to adjust. I have it over on the, also besides the back, starting recording, because you can also start recording by hitting this button right here. Okay, you can also change it to the very right one here. If you go to this very right one, that will allow you to also start and stop your video recording with this button right here also, which is sometimes a little handier to use when you're holding the camera. So I definitely like having that set up to record video right there. I keep all these disabled. Here's your time lapse. If you want to make a time lapse, you can go here to enable that, and you can tell it how often you want it to shoot an image, and it'll actually tell you how long that will play the time lapse after you set up all the settings. It'll give you an estimated length of video. Remote control, I'm not using that. If you need to erase your images, you can go here and erase them there. We're going to move on down. I'm not going to use any of these for setup. I do have the histogram set to RGB, which on the 80D you can see that. Don't really have anything adjusted in here for video settings. You can go through and take a look at them if you want, but that'll be your basic settings. That should get you some good video. Put a Rode microphone on top, and you should be good to go. To get out of the menu button, simply push the menu button again, and that'll take you out of it. The info button right here on the 80D will show you different things on your screen. Like right now it's showing all of my settings basically that I have in the camera. And sometimes you don't want all of that on the camera. You can hit that info button a couple times, it'll go away. You can also see when I hit it another time right now, it brings up my histogram, which I have the lens on, so the lens cap on, so it's not working too good. But sometimes you just don't want any of that on there because you want to see more of what you're shooting. Okay. So, thanks for watching, and hope this helps you make some better videos.